Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody.
I don't even have to use a different voice today. I'm like really sinusy, so I already sound like, hey,
I'm trying to do like
everybody.
this, like Simpsons / Bob's Burgers, like every intro. My hey Colin or hey guy.
How's it going?
Let's start over. Hey guys, it's Colin.
Good job. You did it. It's different.
It's different
So,
every time.
well, last time was one of my favorite things ever.
Batman and Robin.
Still quoting.
It's me, Barbara.
Barbara.
It's me, Barbara Batman.
My family is about to murder me, but I say it so many times a day. And I'm now telling people I went to a Super Bowl party on Sunday. Not that I know anything about football, but my brother Mason and his wife and their nephew invited us, and then my sister and her kids came. So it was more just like a family get together. But I literally was at this Super Bowl party, like just extolling the virtues of Batman and Robin. And I'm like, you have to watch it. Alicia Silverstone says, Bruce, it's me, Barbara. And I was dying. People were like, shut up.
So what movie are we doing today? So I saw this movie when it came out in 1997.
You went to a theater?
I was 3 years old. No, I was with our friend, our mutual, you know him, who we grew up with. Don't want to say his name, but I saw it with him, and I can't remember if we saw it at a theater. I don't believe we did. I never really went to the theaters for that. I saw it probably.
I had never even heard of this movie.
I saw it probably like in 1998 after it had been released or something. I don't think I saw it in theaters. And we'll just tell you, it's Spawn. We're just really riding this wave of secrecy. It's Spawn, you guys, 1997 Spawn. And no one really, Martin Sheen is in it, but he's the only one that's relatively noteworthy, I guess. John
Okay,
Leguizamo.
well, you're also forgetting John Leguizamo as the most disgusting character ever put to film.
He is, but you don't really recognize him so much in this because half of his character, he's a giant farting clown.
Oh my God. Don't remind me. Don't remind me. It's so gross. I've heard that the comic is actually really cool. I believe it. This movie does not do the comic justice if that's the case.
Because a lot of these comic books have really intricate storylines, and it's hard to put that to film when nobody knows about it.
It is. And I feel like they didn't quite unravel the mythology clearly enough, number one. So you start out being like, what the hell is happening? And you end up being like, what the hell happened? But also, that I did feel like that was one of my frustrations, was like, I did feel like the costuming was really cool. And for 1997, the special effects were really cool.
Yeah,
like a lot of the demons and stuff.
That's kind of how I feel.
However, we'll get into it, but he eventually ends up in hell. And the demon dog, Hell Devil, it's this weird old school video game, like computer graphic demon dog. It's so weird. It's like you spent all this time and money on these futuristic graphics, and then all of a sudden you're in hell and you're like, we're out of money. I don't know.
Just put in a little 3-bit dog.
Just draw a dog. I also want to say something I read about this that made me giggle was, so the lead hero is black. And at the time, that was a huge deal.
He's handsome. He's very handsome.
In the 90s. I cannot remember his name, but he's not somebody you would know off the top of your head.
First African-American represented in a superhero movie.
In the comic, his right-hand man is Fitz, and well, in the movie he's also Fitz, but in the comic he's also black. And the studios were like, no, we're making the right hand man white. You can't have too many black people in the cast, otherwise people are gonna think we're marketing this to only black people. And I was like, what a weird
we do that.
What a weird feedback that studio gave.
And like I said, he's handsome as heck until he becomes a burned demon Spawn.
For about 2 minutes.
Yeah, and like the motivations, everything don't make sense. Like there's really awkward like thought processes behind like what. I just always have a real big pet peeve with movies where it's like sell your soul to the devil. Because it's like, when does that ever work out? But in every movie you watch, it does, because they happen to weasel their way out of it somehow. But you guys, if Satan takes your soul, he's going to take your soul for eternity. I don't care what this earthly world.
Than Satan.
I don't care what this earthly world has to offer, even if it's the biggest, comfiest bed. I don't care. There's nothing I'm going to do to sell my soul to Satan. Not going to do it. And I'm definitely not going to outsmart him. Oh yeah, you read between the lines? Oh, I added an extra little line on the contract, Satan. It's like whited out with like bad penmanship.
And
Void.
Satan is like, Satan is like following the rules. He's like, you know what? You got me. That is a technicality I did not account for. So you know what? You're out of this contract. Don't worry about it. Your soul is yours. Even just the reasonability of Satan is unrealistic.
My lawyer Beelzebub is going to hear about this, but it's not your fault, Colin. You're released. It's like so dumb. I always hate it when it's like, sell your soul to me for the rest of eternity. Because that's a timeline we can't as humans grasp at all.
Comprehend, right.
And so it's sell your soul to me for the rest of eternity. And guess what? You get to go back to Earth and like see your old girlfriend, or like, hey, you get to go walk your dog. And they're just like, yes, whatever I have to do.
Whatever I got to do.
Oh, it's ridiculous. All right. Well, without much,
I guess we should
spawn into it. Like spawn into it.
Mm-hmm.
This is the spawn of a new beginning.
Okay, that was better.
I'm trying to think of more. Okay.
Your little laugh.
All right, so we're getting into Spawn, and let's just start. But before we start, the story is not too hard to get, you guys. Well, it kind of is, and kind of it's always as complicated as you make it. That's my motto. But Cadence, just give us a little recap, like a quick summary, plot summary, overview of what we're going to hear.
All right, so we have Lieutenant Colonel Al Simmons, which is already a cool name, but he is a special operative by the CIA, and he is the secret weapon of America. He's the reason that they are anything good is happening is on Al. So you're welcome.
Main character.
During one of his very super secret CIA missions, he is, quote, killed and goes to, quote, hell, makes a deal with the devil to be the leader of the devil's army. And then the rest of that's just his character's journey as the spawn of Satan.
That's an exciting journey. I want to hear this. Anytime you make a deal with the devil, I want to hear all the details about it. So, yeah.
It's like once you have signed over your psyche and being to like this eternal evil, I think it's over for you. I think that might be the end.
I know. There's like... We'll tell you guys this story, and then you can see, because I definitely have some questions.
The battle between heaven and hell has waged eternal. Their armies fueled by souls harvested on Earth. The devil Malbolgia has sent a lieutenant to Earth to recruit men who will turn the world into a place of death in exchange for wealth and power. A place that will provide enough souls to complete his army and allow Armageddon to begin. All the Dark Lord needs now is a great soldier. Someone who can lead his hordes to the gates of heaven and burn them down.
So we meet our hero, Al Simmons, in his home that he shares with Wanda.
Wanda! I know the whole time I was thinking, you can't just say Wanda.
You gotta shout it, Wanda!
Wanda!
So he loves her so much, and they're not married yet, but they're planning to. And we see that classic opening montage, like, these people love each other. This is important to the story. He'll do anything
it's
for
just
Wanda.
That overly the top, like, if they're leaving, it's like, I love you more than anything. If I ever died, I'd sell my soul to the devil to see you again, Wanda. And she's like, okay, Al. Like, it's that kind of really setting you up. Like, okay, I get it.
Because you know something bad's going to happen. Clearly, it's a movie. But if you think about it in, like, terms of just, that's just another day of him going to work.
That's exactly how I think about it. I'm like, okay, Al, see you later, bud. Just like confessing his
I would
universe.
do anything. If the devil came up to me and said, "Can I have your soul?" I would say yes, Wanda. I don't think you understand. Okay, gotta go to work.
Bye.
As he's leaving that morning, that's when we meet Terry, who's also another important character. Terry is like his partner and right-hand man.
BFF
and
for
he
life.
makes a little joke with Wanda about how Al is just such a diva and is always running late.
Do me a favor. Yeah. Buy your man a watch.
And we see that they all know each other very well, and they're all super friendly, and they all love each other.
Oh, this movie sounds really good. It sounds very happy to start.
It is.
So Al's off to work. Another day, another dollar in China, killing someone. You know, he's a badass. Like, the world exists because of him.
Right.
So we meet Al's boss, Jason Wynn. And Jason Wynn is played by the one, the only Michael Sheen. And
Martin Sheen.
Oh my God, you're right. Why did I say Michael Sheen? As soon as that came out, it did not sound right. I was like, Michael, that is not Martin Sheen. And you guys, he's giving it his all to play like a scruffy voiced like villain. Like his voice is literally, let's play you a sound clip.
I will send whoever, wherever I choose. You will follow orders and do your job. Got a problem with that, soldier?
Okay, so you get
You
a little...
can tell he's really bad because of how scruffy his voice is. It's a dead giveaway.
So he's just in his office hanging out, and all of a sudden you see this really scary, terrifying, round, clown-like shadow in the background. And this is where we meet not only Jason Wynn, who is the earthly bad guy, but we meet the hellish bad guy, and his name is the Violater.
If I say you're the man, you're the man. You do for me, and in no time you'll be running this place. And when the big piñata breaks, you'll get it all. Just make sure you keep your end of the bargain. P.S. There's one more item on our to-do list. It requires your personal attention. We need you to help recruit a very special soldier for us. Your all-time favorite killer, Al Simmons. Simmons? He's doing a great job where he is. Why do you want him? Why do you people always bust it? Why ask why? When how is so much more fun.
That's, you know he's bad if his name is the Violator.
I feel like maybe we should just say that the Violator is probably one of the grossest characters in all of cinema.
It's so sick. It's played by John Leguizamo, who we love, but he's the sleaziest, grossest, clown-like demon character you will ever see.
I had a lot of issues with the Violator, but
we'll get into some later.
on.
So anyway, the Violator and Jason are just sitting back, Jason smoking a cigar, and the Violator's like, yo, you know that guy Al Simmons that works for you? He's like, the world exists because of his badassness, and the devil kind of wants him to like be in hell with them to kind of like run things. So can you make sure you figure out a way to make him die?
We have this army that we're like desperately needing a leader for, and we feel like Al's the guy for the job. I'm not sure if he comes strongly recommended, but...
And they do. They have an army that I think they eventually want Al to run. We'll get into it a little bit more.
And he's Satan, so how... I mean, does he just not have leadership skills? Does he have so much to do that he's like, I don't have time to lead an army. I just absolutely do not have time.
Get Al Simmons on the phone. I need someone to run this hell army. Just do whatever you can to get him down here.
I have to sort of like walk down that path of the logistics of like picking a human and deciding that they're the best man for the job.
You think you'd pick a really evil human. You think you would just pick Martin Sheen's character because he's already so evil.
So
he has
true.
no problem destroying the world. You'd be like, hey, actually, do you want to do it? You seem like a pretty evil leader. We're digressing. Anyway, the Violator's basically talking to Jason Wynn, and Jason's like, you know what? I've got a plan to get you Al Simmons' soul. Just hear me out. I'm going to send him on one last mission because he's already been bitching to me for weeks about, we're doing things that aren't ethical and we're killing innocent people. And he's this good guy. So he wants to be kind of let go anyway. So I'll send him on one last mission. I'm going to have my sweet, sweet leather-toting Jessica Priest.
Yes.
We'll get to her later. She's
like Sideman is the best. She's my favorite.
the best character.
By far.
Well, anyway, he goes, I'll let Jessica handle it. And so now you know, oh shit, Al's going to hell. Uh-oh, Al's going to hell.
It's also a really obvious, I don't know if they were like, this is how badass Jessica Priest is, but there's a whole meeting. She's just like letting a tarantula crawl all over her hands. You don't know where it came from.
Cadence, if you're a badass sidekick for Jason Wynn, like a multi-billionaire world dominating type character, you need to up your game. Either snakes around your neck, tarantulas, something to catch his eye and make him know that he picked the right hand man.
It was just one of those things that I was like, I am unclear. You don't see her pick it up. You don't see where it came from.
Don't need to.
But that's just how crazy she is. She'll end up with the tarantula in your office. You don't know where it came from, but that's how wild she is.
Yeah, that's why he can trust her to do anything. So essentially, right on time, Al comes in and he's like,
and I want out.
Have you ever stopped to consider that you won't be happy doing anything else?
I made up my mind.
Nothing I can say to make you change it?
Nothing.
All right. I'll arrange for your transfer right after we've run this last operation.
Let's get it over with.
Yo, I have a really hard time doing all this stuff. I don't believe in it. We're being really morally and ethically wrong. And Jason Wynn's like, oh, okay, well, you can be let go. Just one more little mish. One more little mish to North Korea.
Yeah, he pulls that card of like, oh yeah, I totally respect that. We already had this on the books, so we just need to follow through. And then it's fine. After that, you'll be
Also,
on vacay.
do you have like a resume that gives your leadership skills? Like, do you have anything like that?
A friend of mine's asking like what your experience is in leadership.
Have you ever led a hell army? Okay, never mind. We'll figure it out. So
7 Habits of Highly Effective Demons.
He's all, yes, I completed Six Sigma, Stanford Business School. So
666 Stigma.
666 Sigma. From now moving forward, anytime we say Jason Wynn's name, Jessica Priest is just lurking in the background somewhere. She's always got that tarantula on her face, just lurking in the shadows. Her dark lip liner, her lip liner to lipstick colored ratio is just 90s to the max. It's so good.
She's got this really interesting style. It's like a real interesting balance of badassery and bling, because she'll be wearing like all leather and then a bedazzled corset, and she'll be carrying a tarantula, but also giant machine guns.
She's got some hardcore barbed wire vibes. I think they swiped.
You're right.
I think they swiped
it on.
Swiped.
They swiped it or ripped it off, I think.
Swiped outfits. Like went to swapped. What the hell? I could not think of the word. I was like, her and barbed wire have swapped outfits many times.
They've swipped them. It's been swipped.
They've been swipped. She's got hardcore barbed wire vibes. But Jessica Priest and Al Simmons are on their way to this one last mission that he's going to do in North Korea. It's like, what is it? A biochemical weapons?
It's a biochemical weapons plant. And the whole lure is because right now Al's on this ethical kick. Jason Wynn's like, it's a pretty dangerous biochemical weapons plant. And if we destroy it, then everything you stand for is going to happen. We're going to save the world from these weapons. So, I mean, if you don't want to go, that's fine. But I feel like this is right up your alley.
I feel like it's a way to go out with a bang. No pun intended.
So to speak.
He's like, Jason, is everything okay?
Are you out of your damn mind? I'm not going to let you do this.
Looks like I'm up for a promotion.
So, sure enough, yeah, Jessica Priest pulls a fast one on Al, and she just, he's dead. He's dead.
So she and Wynn are there. They're pretending that they're there to help with the mission, of course. But they're not, because they've conspired to kill him.
I do believe he's catching on.
So she sprays them with some kind of flammable goo. Jason Wynn lights him on fire, says,
See you in hell, Al.
Yeah, I would feel like, did the Violator say like that was part of the contract, that they had to set him on fire? Because they didn't have to do that. They didn't. They could have just shot him.
Yeah, it does feel cruel, like needlessly cruel.
They needed a way.
Quickly send him to the devil. Just real quick.
You don't have to slowly light him on fire and watch him burn and then tell him you'll see him in hell. But I think they needed a way to facilitate the Spawn character. But he kind of like looks like a burned body, but in a cool, Venom type way.
It might have been, now that I'm kind of putting this all together, it might have been as a cover because they were blowing up the biochemical weapons plant. And so if there's a big explosion...
You're right. What are we thinking? Jessica and Jason always have a plan B, C, D, okay? It was to make it look like the plant blew up. You're exactly right. Well, it works because Al gets blowed up and he wakes up in hell. So Al Simmons got blowed up. He's on fire. And I don't know if you guys know this, but whatever happens to you on Earth, however you die on Earth, it's how your soul is represented forever. So if you get burned in a nuclear explosion, your soul is going to be really burned. That's just how it works.
Listen, we don't make the rules.
We don't make the rules. If your eye gets shot out with a BB gun, your soul has one eye. Sorry, that's just how it is. If you died with dentures, you have no teeth. Because there are no dentures. Sorry. Just how you look.
Can't chew that heavenly food.
So Al Simmons goes straight down to hell, where he meets like kind of a cool character for the first little bit.
The bargain. If you lead my army, you can
see Wanda again. What is your answer? Yes! Yes, I will lead your army! Anything for Wanda! If you fail me, you will die. Avenge your murder. Kill Jason
He kind of looks like the gate masters on Ghostbusters. He kind of has that vibe, and he's big and he's huge. He also is like Elizabeth Hurley in Bedazzled. Remember at the very end?
Oh, yeah.
When she grows really big in the bikini, it's the exact same scene, except with a dog.
And the dog doesn't ever move its mouth. That was the other thing, that it always talks with its mouth and its tongue wide open, but there's no movement.
Telepathy, dude.
That's true.
The Satan doesn't have time. I don't know why Satan chose the dog form either. It's to, I think, show that he's just pure chaos.
Yeah, it is, because his army is all in human form.
Yeah, they all are.
So I'm not 100% sure how that worked out. But the devil's basically like, listen, I know that there's someone on Earth you love more than anyone, and little birdie told me it's Wanda.
It's true. Well, Al Simmons wakes up and he's like, why am I burned and why am I in hell? I thought I was a good guy. I lived by morals and ethics. Why am I here? And that's when what's-his-name is like, hey, about that, I need someone to lead my army of hell. See all these people in the background? See all these souls screaming in the background? See all those guys? And they're all on little ledges.
Floating ledges.
Yes, floated ledges of like earth. So it's like it's so good, but they're all in the background just cheering him on. And they're like, these people need a leader. Al, these people need a leader. I am too goddamn busy to be their leader. You have to do it. So Al's kind of like, wait, run it by me one more time, Buster? And he's like, okay, you're in hell because I made you come to hell. And guess what? I need you to run my demon soul army at the end of days in Armageddon. You need to run it. And I don't know what that means. I don't know if
Full benefits.
I don't know if you're actually
40 hours
calling the shots. I don't know if you're like on the front line. I just need you here. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, is it like a logistics thing? He's like, you've been in the CIA for a long time. Do you know, logistically, what's the best way to go about this? Like,
I'm
what
thinking,
on earth are the skills
Is
that
it like
he has?
a step-by-step plan for the apocalypse? It's like you think it out, project it. It's like, okay, first we got to create a budget. This apocalypse is going to be hella expensive.
Hella
expensive. But that's true. Like, I don't get what... Because the Satan dog is really hell-bent on making Al Simmons be his leader of this hell army, but he never really gives a clarification as to why or what he'll do.
And Satan feels like all-powerful, so it seems like just by virtue of him having lived forever or whatever, he's got way more in the old noggin than Al Simmons. I don't... Like, I'm guessing.
I guess there's something we don't know.
He knows how to unleash a hell army and do a lot of damage. I'm not sure what else. And Al works solo. He's like a CIA special operative. So he's not even working with other people in the army or whatever. He's not leading a platoon.
He's never led a team before.
He's a rogue. He's a lone wolf. So I'm not sure. I would love to know more about what led him to this choice and why he had his recruiter... the Violator, go out and seek this guy. I would just love to know the logic.
Yeah, I would like to know. Or maybe it was like by popular vote. Maybe the Hell Souls were like...
Oh, the Hell Souls. They're like, we have a couple of people on Earth we're looking at. Can we have a meeting? Discuss it.
Put forth our candidate. Yeah, it's really great. But anyway, he's hell-bent on getting this guy to be the leader of his army. And he's like, and if you do that, I'll let you see Wanda one more time. And I'm thinking, I love everyone in my life. My partners, my friends, my family, okay? I don't want... Cadence, I'm not going to come back to see you. I think if I'm dead, I'm in hell. I think this is a bad decision to make. I would be like, you know what? Actually, don't need to see him. Actually, you know what?
I had great times.
How about I don't lead your hell army, and you just release me from hell? How about that? I don't need to go see anybody. I don't need any of these conditions.
I can absolutely carry them with me in my heart. Just
right?
If you would just let me out of this hell, I'd be super grateful.
I want to politely decline the offer. I think I have a right to do that because it's my soul. But I don't know. That's just how I feel. Like, who would you come back for? I'd be like, hey, by the way, I'm dead. Like, I get to watch you do things.
Well, that was my next question. After you said that, I was thinking, okay, what are the terms and conditions of the deal? Does he get to go back and be with Wanda, marry Wanda, or just see Wanda from a distance? Because in that case, absolutely, I would not be signing that contract.
That would be even more. And like, is he going to stay burned looking in earthly form? But I think the devil's a sneaky little guy, and you just think that he leads him to believe, like, yes, everything will be as it was before you got burned.
Yeah, so maybe he's like, oh yeah, you'll be able to see Wanda again. Don't you worry. But what he meant was, you'll be able to watch Wanda from the bushes again. Don't you worry.
Totally what he meant. This is where Al gets sent back to Earth, and this is where he becomes Spawn. So he's like the spawn of Satan. So moving forward, we're not going to call him Al anymore. He has officially become Spawn. And now it's going to be called Spawn and Wanda. It's like
Wanda.
It's Wanda.
So we have a little bit of a narration where the voiceover is telling us that Spawn's transformation into this Spawn beast has taken so much time.
A new hellspawn has emerged from the darkness, reborn on Earth, drawn to the alley by an unknown force, his necroplasmic body racked by pain, his memories fragmented. To him, North Korea was moments ago, but Malbolgia kept him secluded in darkness for 5 long years, while things on Earth changed in ways that will only feed his anger and desire for revenge. He sets out to reclaim his humanity. How much is left remains to be seen.
So he wakes up 5 years later.
It really does make you think it's going to be 200 years. But no, he does get to see Wanda. It's just only been 5 years, and a lot can happen in 5 years.
Yeah, because he wakes up in some bushes, as I previously mentioned, and he's at a party, and he's looking around like, okay, well, where am I? Oh, wait, this is the house I used to live in, but I didn't have any kids. And then he realizes, Terry and Wanda got married.
Wanda and his best friend, Terry, got married and had a baby, and it's only been 5 years. This proves my point.
And the child is 5. She's 5.
Wanda and Terry got it on as soon as you died, Al. Spawn, as soon as you died, she got it on with Terry.
Yeah, that child's full grown.
It's full grown.
It's her birthday party.
It's literally the child's 5th birthday party. But this goes back to my point before. Like, you sold your soul to the devil to be the leader of his hell army so you could see your not even wife at that time, girlfriend, not that it matters. Let's just say your love, your significant others. And she went and fucked your best friend and had a baby with him literally the moment after you died. I mean, at that point, she did it at a funeral.
Gone. Hey, Terry.
I know, it's like, it's only been 5 years. I could understand maybe 10 years, but 5 years to have a 5-year-old daughter and be living and married happily. She's already forgot about Al.
Yeah.
She's like, what? Because Spawn shows up, you guys. He is burned. Not just a little bit burned. He is badly, badly burned.
Yeah, just, he's melted, you guys. He's a melted person, and he's in the bushes he couldn't find normal clothes. In hell, I guess it's hard to come by, but
I think they came with the package deal. I don't think he got to. I don't think he got to go pick out his Earth outfit.
He's like, the devil's like, these are the terms. You lead the army, you get whatever clothes I give you. That's it. That's it.
But he does find a potato sack. He's in some old gross clothes.
So he's in like this very dirty giant patchwork situation with a hood. He's also melted and in a bush, and the kid walks by, Wanda and Terry's kid, and he tries to grab her, and she's not startled by it even a little bit.
Want some candy?
She's like, hey, bud.
She literally steps back, and she's like, what are you doing here? And the guy's burned. His skin is sloughing off in front of her.
And he's laying on the ground with an outstretched hand. I can't emphasize this enough.
She is the least alarmed kid
in
ever.
a bush. Lying down with a hand stretched out, and nobody's alarmed by this. Not a one.
Mom, there's a burned guy sitting in our bushes. He's trying to grab me. Can you come figure this out? That's like the extent of what she says. And then it's solidified. Spawn sees Terry and Wanda run out, and they don't really act very surprised either. They don't offer any help. They don't call the police.
He has entered their gate. He's not in like the front yard or the side yard. He has trespassed onto their property, laid down in their bush as a fully melted person, and they're not alarmed by
And tried
that
to snatch
either.
their kid. Tried to snatch their kid at her 5th birthday party. You guys, they don't care. They literally pick up the child and they both just kind of walk away with the little stink eye. And I'm like, what are you going to do about this?
They're like, did you get an invitation for this party? How dare you
This was
show
an
up?
invite-only party.
Yeah, so they're not worried at all. But here's the thing. They've got a much bigger problem on their hands because they've hired an entertainment clown for this party. And
they did.
when you see this clown, you will, even if you didn't have a fear of clowns, this clown will give anyone a fear of clowns because, you guys, it's the Violator. It's John Leguizamo's character dressed up as a clown. He's like, 4 feet tall and 4 feet wide.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of
He's
a circle.
He's a big old beach ball.
It's like Violet Beauregard turning into a blueberry. That costume, that's
It is, yes.
similar to what his whole vibe is. And he's smoking and drinking a glass of whiskey.
He's a demon, Cadence. They are bad people and clowns.
But they hired this dude. Like,
They
at
didn't
any
do that.
point, are the
They
parents like...
They obviously don't give a
"Hey."
shit. They obviously don't care judging by their reaction to the burned guy grabbing their daughter. They don't really care as long as it's a clown.
Hey, could you maybe put out that cigarette? It is a child's party. Hey, that whiskey feels like maybe an after party situation. No, they're
It's
fine.
Sunday
He's
morning at
drunkenly-
11 a.m.
It's bright outside, a weekend morning, and he is just, it's so, again, but they don't care. It doesn't startle them at all. It's not problematic for them at all. But at this time, the Violator dressed as a clown sees the burnt and melted Spawn.
Oh, there you are. I've been looking everywhere for you. Bad crispy. Clown not like. Sorry for the turbulence, folks. He's harmless. He's safe as milk. Just a freak accident with some Jiffy Pop.
All right, that's it. Just get your stuff. Get out of here. Take him with you.
Oh, what an adorable little girl. Oh, look at her. Can I keep her?
Hey.
Oh, of course not. No pets allowed. A little something for Lolita here. Baby exorcist. All right. Come on, my barbecue friend. Don't want to keep that side order potato salad waiting. Now do
And
it.
it's like, oh, there you are. I've been looking everywhere for you. And he tells the parents, don't worry about this guy.
He's just my
friend. We'll get out of your hair.
And they're like, this day just keeps getting weirder and weirder. What a day we're having, right, Terry?
We got this crazy clown
so
that's
sweet.
terrifying and a melted man in the bush.
I know. I would have liked him to be like, well, because the Violator's like, oh, you found my friend. I'm going to go take him and take care of him. I wish
Right.
Terry and Wanda would have been like, actually, we paid you to entertain the kids. Can you maybe
Could
wait?
you finish?
And then the Violator has to put on
And
a full
also,
balloon
could you-
act for the kids for 2 hours.
Also, could you explain to us why he's melted and in the bush? Did you just tell him to wait here, or
Did you want him here, or did he follow you? I got a lot of questions about your friendship
Was he
with this
supposed to pick
burn
you
melted guy.
up?
And because he just tried to like reach and grab our daughter and kidnap her, but
he was just taking a nap under this bush and tried to grab our kid? But listen, if you're friends, I get it. You can vouch for him.
judgment-free zone.
I just want to know some context.
Come on. Let's get the kids inside.
So after that crazy birthday debacle, the Violator, again dressed as a clown, takes Spawn to basically this really nasty place. I think it's supposed to represent like hell on earth. It's
Right.
kind of like Rat Alley, and it's just a gross people doing gross things, and it's just a gross place.
Yeah, all the evil people of the world just congregate in Rat Alley. They're like, meet me in Rat Alley instead.
Let's go,
Go do
buddy.
some shit.
I gotta recap this birthday party I went to earlier. And we're just gonna briefly say this because we're not gonna spend much time on it at all, but something to think about later on in the story. Spawn bumps into this old man, and this old man looks him up and down, and you can tell that he's like, that guy ain't normal.
He's the only one who happens
He's the only
to
one,
notice he's melted.
right? Because you guys, again, he's burned to, like, it's just really, really bad, but no one, really, really bad, but no one bats an eye. So this old man kind of bumps into him, and he kind of makes a comment like,
You're welcome to join us, if you choose.
so just keep that in your peripheral. We're going to leave that.
Yeah, it does definitely. It's like a preface to something else that happens later. So just keep that
Or
in
something
your
else that
back
doesn't
pocket.
happen.
Or something that doesn't.
Honestly, at
You're
this
right.
point. Yeah, and then Cadence, tell him what Violator talks to him about, because this is where like a big thing happens.
Spawn is saying like, "Oh, I have I started saying it really nicely. What I meant to say is,
She's doing
my
a real
skin
good
is burning off.
She's doing a really good job at this. Excuse me, Violator. My skin is hurting. He's literally screaming and crying that his skin's being burned off.
Feels like my skin is about to explode. Just get me to a hospital.
I was thinking about another conversation in the movie, and I started thinking it was that one, and then I remembered where I was, and the idea that he's like, "Oh, hey, V, is it normal that it feels like my skin's burning off and I want to gouge out my own eyes?"
He's like, is it normal that you came up from hell and ended up in a bush? Like, nothing about this is normal. No, your skin is supposed to burn.
Guess what it's forming into?
That's just your viral necroplasm going through its larval stage.
Necroplasm.
Necroplasm.
So turns out that I guess there's this secret juice that the devil has, and when he wants your soul, he can replace the blood in your body with necroplasm, and all of your cells and all of your anatomy gets turned into weapons and armor and has transformative power. So
Spawn larva to full-fledged hellspawn in record time.
maybe this deal with the devil wasn't such a bad idea.
The Violator is also kind of talking him through. So as we should have waited till now to introduce him as Spawn. This is technically when he becomes Spawn. He's just burned Al Simmon before, and this is when he becomes
But now he has
Spawn.
green, like this green glow, and he's starting to develop like body armor, like we were saying, and things. He can do things with his body that he couldn't before. So you're right. He's born in Rat Alley.
He's born in Rat Alley, spawned. He's spawned in Rat Alley. And the Violator, as he's screaming and thriving around because of his transformation, the Violator is kind of laying it out for him, and he's like,
I want you to take care of Win, and then you and the army can kick some angelic buttocks. And in return for your services, we'll get Wanda back for you. Heck, you can have everyone on the planet. Why settle for leftovers, huh?
I think you should use your powers first to get revenge on Jason Wynn and Jessica Priest. You know, those two that burned you? Why don't you get revenge on them?
Hey, I know you don't like Jason. I know he burns you alive, but let me tell you something that's going to make it even worse. He's a weapons dealer, and he's been lying to you this entire time.
Doesn't that make you mad? Spawn, does that make you mad? Is he such a bitch, Spawn? Spawn, is he such a bitch? Does that make you mad? He's a bitch, right? And Jessica was also, she killed that tarantula.
She carried it around forever. She acted like she liked it, but she didn't. She stomped on it when you walked out of the room.
She's such a bitch, right? You hate her, huh?
She sprayed you with that goo, right? Remember how it stung? Remember how you were wiping your eyes? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you need to do a lot of convincing to Spawn at this point. I mean, two
He's
people
like, they
burned him
me
alive.
I'm good.
They double-crossed him and burned him alive and sent his soul to hell. So I don't think he needs any other reason, but Violator's just really laying on thick with the weapons. I also want to know how Jason knows the Violator. Like, does he have some kind of special contract? Like, because we just meet the Violator casually talking to him in the office, you know?
Right.
Does the Satan just go like, Jason's a powerful billionaire, let's work with him? Is he like liaison? What's going on there?
I mean, I guess maybe that's just too deep into the story and you can't really express it, but they have an established relationship that goes way back from the moment we meet them.
Which
so
is
who knows?
That's why it just makes sense for the devil to ask Jason Wynn to lead the army. I still am
Exactly.
confused about this.
They
But,
have an established connection, and why you would bring someone else into it is nonsensical. But whatever. I'm not the devil.
you are
I
not.
clearly do not run hell.
What have I done?
So after burned Al Simmon has officially spawned, and the Violator got him real riled up about what's going on with Wanda Terry. No, not Wanda Terry. He probably added something that in there.
If you want to talk about him adding stuff in there, that is the Violator's absolute expertise. He will say the grossest things he can add into any given conversation, whether they're relevant or not.
A little death, a little destruction. Perfect marriage. Speaking of marriage, guess who's not your fiancé anymore? And the winners are Wanda and Terry, multiplying like rabbits, and humping, and barking, and doing it, and liking it.
And he does always find a way to work in Wanda and her hot bod and trying to get with her and all the things he's going to do to her. And it's so disgusting.
But Cadence has a good point because the Violator, you guys, he's a little trickster. He's a little devil trickster. So he's talking to Spawn one moment. He's talking to Jason. Whose friend is he? You never know. He's Metatoblo's little right-hand man, Metatoblo being the devil dog. So you never really know what's going on with him.
And he loves to eat. And of course, they make that his whole personality.
Oh, he farts and eats and burps. He's a gross demon. But did he choose that look for himself?
I have been pondering
did
that.
Satan say, "Hey, I'm going to make you look like this weird clown thing," or did he say like, "This is a look I want to have"? Or
I mean, just so we're clear, he is a demon in this like clown form, and I had the same thought because not only is he like Violet Beauregard Blueberry status, his legs are also really bowed. And they're really, 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 really far apart. And so every time he walks, he kind of has to like teeter from one leg to the other to move.
It's not very effective, right?
So I'm like, number one, that's not efficient, period, no matter what. And number two, are you choosing to eat all that food for fun? Or are you trying to maintain that very specific figure? Also, he has 3 tufts of hair, one on the top, one on the left side, one on the right side, like green, gross hair. And he has about 200 extra teeth in his mouth.
Very it.
Yes, it's a very it mouth. And anyway, the point is that it is a super inefficient form. He can't run. He can't perform
like TikTok from
physical tasks.
He's TikTok.
Yes, you're right.
Return to Oz. He just has to stand there and wait for people to come to him to do any kind of movement.
Yes, and his demon form is really agile, and I just don't understand why he would choose to fart around and teeter around in that body.
His demon form is extremely agile, like a cat, like a beautiful cat demon. There's a lot of questions we just don't know.
And you would think that if he's going to take a human form, it'd be way smarter to be like the hot guy or the hot girl, and then you could seduce anybody into doing anything for you.
Could you imagine the Violator as like a super sexy woman? That'd make this movie fucking better.
I mean, later he turns into one.
I guess that's why it's got a 17% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's not 70.
Did not say 70. So the Violator really does get Spawn riled up, and Spawn's like, you know what? She is a bitch. Jessica's a bitch. Wanda's a bitch.
Let's do this.
Terry's a bitch. Jason Wynn's a bitch. I'm going to go kill him. And so he totally crashes, like literally crashes through the ceiling of a party. You guys, if you're wealthy and you're an arms dealer and you're this bad guy, you're always in a tuxedo having a party. That's just
if there's
what
one thing you want to
do.
It's be high profile.
It's be as high profile as you can and throw these magnificent galas and have Jessica Priest stand behind you with scorpions on her face and lurk behind you. That's what you do. So the Spawn crashes through the ceiling and he's trying to kill Jason Wynn at this point. When you're that high profile and you got that scruffy of a voice, you get out of situations.
This freak stuff's gonna come in handy when I get my hands on Wynn.
That voice gets you out of that situation.
We gotta go.
You sent me to hell, Jason. I'm here to return the favor.
So basically, it just turns into a showdown between Jessica Priest and Spawn, and he avenges himself, I guess. Because he kills Jessica. She's dead. Girl's dead.
He's like, hey, remember when you covered me in goo? This is for that.
I love how he kills Jessica, too. He kind of just drops her from really high on her back onto a table, and that's it.
He shoots her.
I know, but she falls.
But she falls off the balcony, yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's in the head, though. I thought he just shot her and she fell off the balcony and kind of like smashes into the table, and that's it.
No, because that whole, she wears yet another impractical fighting costume with like black boot heels and like leather pants, the bedazzled corset bra situation.
She's got pearl necklace on.
She's got giant guns. Her hair is completely perfectly done. Her makeup, full makeup. So anyway, they end up having this final showdown.
She's also at a very fancy event. Why is she dressed like this? You'd think she would just be wearing a gown.
That's her formal battle gear.
But she doesn't think she's gonna go into battle. So I feel like Jason would be like, hey, Jessica, sweetheart, the vibe says black tie. You are wearing a pleather corset and stilettos.
Jessica plays by her own rules. Do you think she's really bound by an invitation?
You've still got that damn tarantula on your face. We've talked about this. HR does not like it. Get the thing off your face.
It's not sanitary. We're actually eating. This is a meal banquet. So if you could get that
so
spider
awkward.
off your face.
Could you imagine being your name tag is by Jessica? You're like, oh, Jessica Priest, she sounds fun. And you sit next to her and she's a pleather-bound tarantula on face woman who just doesn't talk. And you're like, so do you work? How long have you worked here? So, what do you do? awkward to start a conversation with.
She would, because she doesn't take shit from anybody. So she would just be like,
Nice outfit, asshole.
She's like, I love doing miniatures. I go to the dog park every Saturday. She's just misunderstood Jessica. We're digressing.
She has become someone whose work-life balance is not in alignment. Like, she's got no differentiation of personal.
Yeah, she's
and
wearing
business.
battle gear, leather battle gear to a gala. She's prepared for anything, but also doesn't know how to read the room.
So it is also should be clear that by the time Jessica and Spawn are having their face-off on the balcony, she realizes it's him.
It's a little early for Halloween, Simmons.
Where you're going, every day's Halloween.
She's like, wait, which one are you? You burned me up in North Korea. Wait, which mission in North Korea? You're not Bob, are you?
Burned a lot of people.
I know. She's like,
so.
Do you see me, bitch? Look at what I'm wearing. I burn a ton of people. Give me some more
You're
detail.
gonna have to give me more details. She insults him, and that's ultimately what pushes him over the edge. She's like,
You don't have the guts.
and at that point, he's triggered, literally triggered, and shoots her. She falls off the balcony and dies. I legitimately did not see that coming. She seemed like she was going to be around for a while. So I was surprised.
She was always lurking behind Jason. You need that lurker. But I love how he literally, you guys, like I said, crashed through the ceiling and his necroplasm is out in this big red. I mean, he's very terrifying. And I will give the movie a little bit of credit because they did good on some of their scenes.
Oh, the special effects of that suit and the...
So great.
It's
great.
really
For
cool, the
1997, if I was Jessica and I saw that, I would not provoke that. And I would say, you know what? You were away. You didn't deserve to die. I am so sorry I burned you. It was all Jason Wynn's fault.
Just
you were
placate
always
him.
like, just be nice. I wouldn't like challenge that and be like, yeah, I was a better soldier. Oh yeah. Cause like you saw him come down with the demon. Like
he floated through the ceiling with a magic cape and you have shot at him with
And
an
he will not
AR-15
die.
multiple times, and he's not dying. So do you really want to keep
she's
taking
so
your chances?
dense. Anyway, he avenges himself and kills Jessica.
I don't know if you noticed this. I just remembered this, but I really didn't think part of the reason it shocked me that she was really truly dead is because when they put her body, like the EMTs grab her and they put her body in what looks to be like a cryo chamber. They don't just take her body away in a body bag.
Well,
they
maybe
make
they
an
were
effort to
thinking
show you putting her in.
Maybe
That's what I was thinking. Maybe there was supposed to be a sequel and she's supposed to come back or something.
Oh, I'd love that Jessica sequel. I would love.
I would watch
that one.
the hell out of that movie.
I want to know
but
everything about her.
I really did think like, oh, she's gonna come back. They have this cryogenic technology, and she's gonna be the one that has the big like showdown with him. But that wasn't.
In reality, she might not have died. She might come back someday. We don't know. We can't say she did, but he did shoot her in the head and she fell on her back. But whatever. Cryogenics can't fix that. They unfreeze her and they're like, yep, she's still got a hole in her head. Freeze her back up. Get some dry ice, put her back in until we figure out how to get this hole out of her head.
Load her up.
Does this look like playland to you? No, he killed Priest. Damn near killed me. You say that like it's a bad thing.
So after Jessica, R.I.P. girl, after she dies and Jason Wynn escapes, we're met with our favorite duo, the Violator and Jason Wynn, just back in that office chit-chatting.
Just palling around.
And Jason Wynn, not only is he like this international weapons dealer, he's got a lot going on his plate right now. And now with Jessica dead, he's going to have like 10 more things. Like he's going to have he's got to get a replacement.
He's got
quick.
some extra tarantulas to take care of.
Now what do tarantulas even eat? Where do I go?
He did have a itty bitty tiny scorpion terrarium on his desk. It was like a fishbowl with two scorpions
I
in
love
it.
that. But it was also kind of like a cigarette dispense, like holder thing, like where you put your ashes. It was very bizarre. But anyway.
So maybe it'll just join them in there. I don't know. Anyway, he's overwhelmed. As we have discussed before, Jason Wynn is a weapons dealer. The government does not know this yet, but he's been amassing nuclear weapons. And it has to be part of his deal with the devil, that's kind of why part of why he's doing it.
He could start the apocalypse. I don't get why the devil has all the tools right now to start this apocalypse. I don't know what
I also
he's waiting
feel like
for.
just unleash the chaos of those millions of souls and you're good. You don't need a formal kickoff.
I know. This is a lot of work.
He's going to have an Olympic ceremony, opening ceremonies. Armageddon.
The devil's like been planning this for millennia. He's just like, it's like a pageantry. He just all is about the pageantry.
I do not want to get this wrong.
He's also working on one other thing. He's got the weapons. What else does he have? If the weapons weren't enough.
Finally ready. Heat 16. Makes the Ebola virus look like a skin rash. That North Korean biochemical operation really paid off. We have harvested the ultimate weapon from those diseased bodies, and now we have the only vaccine.
He stole it from the biochemical plant in North Korea.
Oh,
in
that's
the
a good
beginning.
point. You're actually closing some doors that were open on this.
He needed to get it. Spawn was obviously the best, so it could get him into the plant. He could steal it. Then he could destroy it and be like, look, I did my job. It's gone. I blew up the plant. But then secretly, it's his.
He's got leverage on the government.
So much leverage.
So Violator's like, this could be a good kickoff for the apocalypse.
This could start with a real bang.
I'm going to make Beelzebub real happy here. I'm going to figure out what to do. So the Violator's like, well, I got an idea.
We're gonna rig a fancy schmancy device that connects your heartbeat to the Heat 16 bomb. So if your heart starts ticking, the bomb goes off. You don't want any smart-ass fruitcake taking you out ahead of schedule. Sort of an insurance policy from hell to good hands, people.
Hear me out, Jason. Jason, hear me out. To keep it safe and make sure it doesn't do... You want to attach it to your heart? And...
Are we talking about there's like a switch for the nuclear bombs?
No, you put like the actual 8, you called it Heat 16. You just told me about it. Heat 16?
Right.
You stick it in a sack on your heart. And just hear me out. If anyone tries to kill you, it gets set off. So you kill everyone anyway. Sounds like a good plan, right?
So why would I put the detonator by my heart?
Good question.
In
This
my bod?
will deter people from assassinating you. They won't know they need to assassinate because it's in your body, but it'll keep them from doing it if they found out it was in your heart.
That was my follow-up question was, who wants to assassinate me and why? Because if they don't know that I have these weapons or this
Jason,
biochemical hazard,
Listen, don't ask a lot of
why would they
questions.
want to kill me?
Put the sack on your heart. If you do happen to be killed by someone who's after you, bud, you're a weapons dealer. Come on. If they kill you, it'll blow up the world. If they try to kill you, they'll know that they'll blow up the world. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win, buddy. Either you die and the world dies,
either way, the
or you
world
don't.
gets blown up. That's what we've been watching this whole time. Jason's like, I actually didn't want to be blown up with the world. I wanted to be in control of that blowing up, but I hear you.
That's a good idea. I like that.
I also just feel like maybe I need to step in and correct you because you keep saying it's a sack on his heart.
I know, but what else are you going to describe it as? Are you going to get into you're going to get into the technicalities of what the H16 is?
No, but it's a plastic device. It's not a sack. It's a little plastic device.
I'm so sorry.
It's not the actual H16. It's the detonator for it. So like it will release that deadly chemical weapon. Because I think he'd be less excited about putting the actual chemical weapon in a sack.
You're very right. But you know what? It makes the conversation that much better. Because I just picture a little sack. Because they actually kind of show a little x-ray for us viewers. And they're like, just if you're wondering, this is how it's going to fit around the heart. And it does look like this, that would kill you in itself. You're encasing your heart in this hard plastic.
I was wondering where exactly it's holding on to. Because it's...
It's freestanding.
They didn't place it in the heart. That's not possible.
They must
so it's just
tie
floating.
your heart. They got some face-off doctors in there. And
Little
really
yarn
help,
in there.
Really helped. It makes no sense. I was dying laughing because I was like, he's trying to convince this guy. And he wasn't trying. He convinced Jason to do this.
He succeeded.
He succeeded, in case you're wondering. And Jason's like, he's got a good point. I will put this contraption on my heart, which open heart surgery would take months to recover from.
Yeah. It's not small.
Oh, it's huge.
It's like half the size of his heart. It's a big plastic chunk that's half the size of his heart. They are 100% using the face-off laboratory, though, because it's very similar technology, lots of scans.
We're just going to open up your heart and put it in there and then close it back up.
Slice them open, drop it off, close them back up. It's the weirdest procedure and it feels really unrealistic. But again, the logic doesn't even follow because beyond just putting this plastic thing in your body, no one knows you have the weapons. You have fooled the entire world into thinking you are fighting for the righteousness of the American way.
Yes.
Why would anybody be trying to kill you? It doesn't,
and here's,
whatever.
Here's the other thing that is going to just throw some more chaos into this chaotic, awful movie. Violator thinks that he's done this great thing by convincing Jason to put this on his heart, right? He's like, you know what?
Right.
Miatabolo, my little demon Satan dog, is going to be so happy because now Spawn can kill him and it will activate this apocalypse that Miatabolo, demon dog, really wants. I'm thinking, Violator, You've already convinced him to put a plastic thing on his heart. Just kill him. And how about you start the apocalypse?
That's true. You got one more step you don't need.
You're just adding extra steps. Just take it from him, click it. It sets off H16. The world goes into an apocalyptic state. That's all you have to do. Hell, if you didn't even want to do that, go steal his weapons and release those. Why are we adding these extra steps?
We've established that this demon, the Violator, can touch and interact with the human world. It's not a spirit situation where you need a vessel.
A clown. He was a clown at a 5-year-old's birthday.
At a children's birthday party.
Yeah.
So he knows at this point where the weapons are. Just travel to that place. Like, there are a lot of other ways to do this. Not only can you just kill Wynn yourself and excuse that step, you could also just go to where they're at. Like, and release.
Also, your master is the master of hell. He can just come up and start an apocalypse. It doesn't make sense.
Countless demon souls chomping at the bit on their ledges floating in hell space to get out and fight this goddamn war. Just unleash them. Because I guess that's the other thing is if you kill Jason Wynn, does that mean, well, Spawn's not ready to lead that army yet? He's not finished his training, so we can't kill him until Spawn's ready.
What? We're beating a dead horse here. We're never going to get the answers to this.
You're right.
It's all
going to haunt
speculation
me
at this
forever.
point. It did the whole time. I'm like, this makes no sense. Bottom line, Jason Wynn has now put a plastic sack on his heart. And if he gets shot, it will, because it's actually technically when he flatlines, his body dies. It will detonate this thing and the world will go off. So that's where we're at, okay? Just don't ask questions.
What a double cross. First I got Wynn to kill Spawn and create the H16 bomb. Now I get Spawn to murder Wynn and release the virus. If all goes well, this year, like hell. I can't believe I actually got Wynn to get operated. What a maroon. It's gonna send the Earth into a tailspin of death and destruction.
Because Violator's favorite thing to do is backstab and gossip.
He's a demon. That's what he does.
He again takes Spawn to the side. Hey, I don't know if you heard, but Jason Wynn actually has this detonator in his heart. He's a super bad guy, and like I said,
remember
before,
how he got away from you?
Dealer.
Remember how you went to that place and killed Jessica and he got away? Didn't that make you so mad?
And like he's enjoying his whole life while you got burned and you got melted. So I think it might serve you well because I'm about to give you a whole army. I think you might want to be doing us this one last favor. And he's like,
You filthy little piece of vermin. What makes you think I would join your army? You can take this army of yours and shove it.
I've been thinking about it, and no, I don't. I don't feel like this is what I want to do. I love Wanda, but she's happy with Terry. She has her baby. I don't want to.
He's not a baby anymore.
Done.
She's 5. she's
they have a teenager.
Yeah, and all of a sudden he has this like change of heart. You should have thought about all this before you talked to Maggie Lioblo.
Well, at the beginning, he didn't know 5 years was going to pass.
That's
he
true.
thought he was going to go
That's
right
true.
back to where he
kind
was.
Of played a fastball on him. That's very true.
So anyway, he's like, she doesn't need me anymore. She doesn't want me anymore. I don't serve a purpose in her life. I'm happy to let this go. I would like to politely decline the position.
Also,
thank you so much for the offer.
I don't really want to start a nuclear weapons holocaust. Sorry.
That too, but also can't get Wanda back.
I am. You know what?
The nuclear war secondary.
I'm super mad at Jason Wynn. I'm so mad at him. I don't necessarily want to kill him because it will start a nuclear war.
But I appreciate that you thought I was qualified enough to lead a devil army. That feels really flattering. So he's mad. He's like, well, what I mean is Violator's mad. Like, he's like, I
was going to like,
Spawn is trying to get out. Violator is infuriated by this, obviously.
Well, look how much time and energy he's put into this little scheme.
You're a bigger fool than I thought if you think you're gonna wreck my plans. You're gonna do just what you promised.
He's been spending days and days twisting this all around.
And he overshot.
I know. Spawn could be like, yo, Violator, you can just kill him. Like, I wish that Spawn would have been like, I get out of my contract, you make Beelzebub really happy, and you do all of this.
And you win. And maybe he'll make you the leader of the army.
Isn't that exciting, Buster?
Violator, really, for whatever reason, really needs Spawn to do this very specific job.
Now you're doing a Wanda for Spawn.
The Wanda voice for Spawn. And they get into a fight. And when I say they get into a fight, I mean, it's very clear that Violator in his physical clown form could not beat Spawn, but you guys, he unleashes his demon form.
I'm not the vindicator or the victimizer. or the vaporizer, or the mind flader. Violater!
Which is like a 20-foot scary ass,
Cat
very
demon
agile
thing.
demon, which is again makes it more confusing that the Violator chooses the physical form he chooses because he can do lots of stuff as a demon. So they fight. The Violator wins, but he can kill Spawn, but he doesn't.
You've been violated, girly man, huh? I could have killed you like that.
I can kill you anytime I want. And by kill, he means like fully destroy his spirit. He will be trapped in hell with no leadership
You know what?
qualities.
That's a whole different ball game we
He'll
don't
be
even want to get
leading
into because I have so many questions about the soul and who beats demons
He'll be
and whatever.
living a pedestrian hell life, whatever.
Helter Skelter's coming down, with or without you. Either you lead the army or win place, pin the tail on Wanda. Forget Terry. It's my turn to ride the Wanda carousel. Look.
Stay away from her.
Your choice. See you at Wanda's. Last one there gets her rotten eggs.
So he's like, you might want to think about your choices, and he leaves. At this point, remember the old man that we introduced earlier? Because
The one that said, you're a long way from home, buddy.
right, he's coming back, and we learn that he was once a servant of the devil as well. And he was able to get his soul back. And so he's been fighting for good ever since.
You're Spawn now. But that doesn't mean you have to be what they want. The war between heaven and hell depends on the choices we make. And those choices require sacrifice. That's the test.
And he's like, listen,
You see, you've been using your armor only by reflex. You must learn to control it. It has trillions of neural connections that are living extension of your own instincts, instantly translating your thought into physical reality. So long as you stay clear and focused.
my powers aren't as cool as yours. The only thing I can do is turn my right arm into a sword. But
Not even a sword. I would say a small dagger.
I can
A small little sharp dagger.
give you some
Spawn,
feedback.
meanwhile, can transform into all these amazing things, and all he got was a little spike.
That's my absolute favorite thing is that Spawn is like got full necroplasm, body armor, weapons, spikes coming out of him, hooks.
He physically
has-
looks so cool.
And this guy's like, he starts glowing green and his little baby spike grows out of his sleeve. It's pretty cool, huh?
He was like, "This was in the early days of satanic contracts. We didn't know what we were doing. Satan he wasn't even a dog then. He was a puppy."
Is that also indicative of the time? Because that guy he is like 500 years old because he was like in the
Satan was in his. He was just learning how to do things. Now he knows who's good for the role.
He could only make you have weapons that he knew existed on Earth. So he's like, you can be a catapult. I can make you have a catapult hand. I can give you a sword.
I can give you a super cool slingshot finger. And you get to go back and see your loved ones 10 years
I can turn
later.
you into a battering ram. You got a few options. What do you want to go with? I'm just now realizing that it's maybe just the technology is only as good, like the devil's only as good as the technology that people create. Because at this point, he's made Spawn.
That's a really sad trade-off.
Amazing.
But Spawn is like, you know what? I want to know about I want to know more. I want to know more about your story. He's like, sure, let me teach you how to do these things. So basically, he teaches Spawn like how to channel his inner peace, and his inner peace will create a way more. I say peace, it's not inner peace. His inner rage, I don't know what you call it, but it basically helps him create a lot more weapons and better weapons than he ever knew how to use.
Because he stops
He's
reacting.
basically teaching him how to channel his powers.
Stops reacting and starts acting. So does that make sense? Before, his powers would come out if someone was attacking him. And he's like, no. You have total control. And you can get all this stuff to happen when you want it to happen. And so he teaches them.
See, watch this. Spawn, watch this. And the little spike comes out of his finger.
Wait, watch.
Watch.
See?
Spawn's like, okay,
Cool
buddy, I'll
trick.
take your word for it.
You've been saving the world with that, bud?
No wonder you got the
That's why you're
contract
the
ended.
one-man army that you are, little guy.
Needless to say, he teaches Spawn a thing or two, and Spawn's ready to enter the workforce. So now that Spawn has this newfound inner strength, he's like, I could take on the world, literally. Like, I could literally take on the world. Like, that's what I'm doing right now. He finds out that Tear, Wanda, and the little 5-year-old girl, they have been kidnapped, you guys, and they were being held hostage by none other than Jason Wynn. And you're probably thinking, like, why is this happening? So are we. So Spawn goes, and he's like, Wanda, Terry, little girl that I tried to grab when I was a burn man. And basically, while they're kidnapped, is because Violator pretty much convinced Jason to do it so that he could re-meet with Spawn and kill him. So Spawn gets there, Jason's got them all held captive, and Violator shows up, and he's like,
Peekaboo, I see you.
oh, you want to fight again? I just kicked your asshole, okay? And Spawn's like,
I just kicked your asshole.
I just kicked your asshole. Yeah. It was a strange thing for Violator to say, but that pisses Spawn off, and they go through the fireplace in Terry's beautiful home.
Wanda!
Gorgeous marble fireplace. Great tiling on the back.
And in an effort not to confuse you, he does technically go into this battle with the sword arm guy, the old guy. And he's a real great wingman. He tried so hard, you guys. He really, really, really wanted to help Spawn out. But
Hell has changed since he was there. That's all we got to say. Hell is a much different place.
It's been a while. He doesn't make it out.
Poor guy. Bless his heart. Moment for Kaliostoga. Kolistioga.
His sword arm tried his best. Okay, so
he is now fighting Violator, and like we said, Kaliostoga, the old man, taught him his inner worth. He's channeling that, and you guys, it's a showdown to the death. They are rolling all around hell. Souls are clapping in the background on their little earth ledges. It's a big
They're taking bets on their ledges.
Oh, yeah. It's become full horse race. It's Kentucky Derby on this thing. And I'm assuming that Gobliobo, the dog, is somewhere watching this, or he's sleeping, or he's not aware.
He's in another meeting. He's like, you guys take care of this. I will come back. I trusted Violator. I delegated. It's going to be fine.
So y'all know what happens. Spawn destroys Violator. And again...
He beheads him.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Him. He beheads him.
You're gonna pay for this. It's not over yet. I'll gum you to death. I'll bite you. Hey, Wanda, what do you think about a little head, huh? This is your last chance to join us. Think about it. Come on. Don't pay for this.
Give my regards to your boss. Tell him he's next.
Violator's gross till the very end. He's taunting them as his head is bouncing around on the floor, still taunting them. He's basically, his head is like a pile of slime and his body's like a pile of slime.
That's what
happens. And they're slurping back into the fireplace portal to hell. And he's like, this isn't over. And so I think they just destroyed his physical form temporarily.
So his goo soul goes back into hell.
Yes.
And is he recuperating? Is he like sitting in a little bubble, like he's like Voldemort status, like waiting to get strong again?
I sort of feel like that's what's happening. That's what was implied in my mind. I could be wrong. There's no reason for lots of this
Let's
stuff.
Let's say Violators, he's a little baby goo hole in hell now.
He's like, you got me this time.
He's got to recharge. And after that, Spawn goes to the devil because he's feeling himself. And he's like, yo, conditions are off. Don't want to do this anymore. And the devil's like, you know what? You're right. You're absolutely right.
You outsmarted me. I will tear up the contract.
You know what? You outsmarted a millennial-old devil, okay? You're right. Get out.
You know those movies where, like, people talk back to someone and the person is, like, in power, says something like, you know what? And you think they're in trouble? I have not heard someone talk to me like that in 10 years.
He really respects him.
And I gotta respect it.
The devil just turned into the nicest guy. He's like, you know what? I appreciate you for speaking your truth. That is honest, which is something you don't see a lot around here. That is courageous.
They're lying all the time.
Courageous, not a thing you see down here, bud. I really appreciate this. You have warmed my little heart. And literally,
we're in hell, bud, where everything's real warm, so good job.
You did be above and beyond, guy. I knew you were the right guy for the job. And he's like, so you know what? You don't have to lead my hell army. You know what? Apocalypse can't happen. You're leaving me.
Calling off the apocalypse.
My right-hand man has just died. You cut off his head. But you know what? You go. You go. Get out of here, right?
Yeah, he somehow is like, well played, point made.
Bye.
I will shred it. Bye.
So basically, Spawn decides that he's now going to live his life as this wandering demon vigilante. He's actually going to fight for good
Justice.
and justice. I just want to mention that after he gets out of hell and the devil's like, sure, go home. You're like, oh, great. Finally, go kill Jason Wynn. He does not, you guys. He decides.
Jason's just been a real calm spectator through this whole battle, just in the living room.
He was kidnapping and holding Terry and
Wanda!
hostage. And he was just through this whole thing, just like, you know what? This might not turn out the way I want. And the movie ends literally with cops coming and arresting Jason. And you're kind of like, I'm still curious about his heart.
I totally remember because I laughed my head off. At one point, Spawn jumps on top of Jason, uses his Spawn powers, and he extracts the device from
Oh my
inside
God,
of
you're
him.
right.
He uses
I
like
forgot.
a laser beam
At this
and like
point, I had
out.
checked out because this is the very end of the movie, and I was like, "This is so fucking stupid." But you're absolutely right. It breezes right past that. Spawn's little dagger arm really showed him how to use his inner worth, and so he used his inner worth to create a laser that pulls out. You're right. Very pivotal to the storyline.
I totally
Because I was
forgot
thinking,
that.
like, is Jason go to jail, and if he just dies, does the apocalypse still happen? Like,
No,
what do we
don't
do?
you worry. Spawn solved that. You can tell they were like finishing up the script, and they're just like, "So what are we gonna do about this detonator?" He's like,
What are you gonna do about this
Spawn
H6?
sucks it out with his powers.
Spawn decides not to kill him, but he does do open heart surgery and pulls it out, and then heals him. And they just nice little bow on that.
Wrapped it up. And we also learn as Jason's being arrested, there's a bunch of news cameras.
Mr. Fitzgerald, is it true that the documents you've uncovered implicate Jason Wynn?
Yes, that's correct. For the past 5 years, I unwittingly participated in Jason Wynn's illegal manipulation of the A6 in order to further his own personal ambitions for worldwide power.
Sir, what caused you so long to respond? Mr. Fitzgerald, the Heat 16 bombs, are they still a danger?
The entire Heat 16 weapon system has already been destroyed.
Just wait. Do you have any further comments?
Something I should have done a long time ago. The documents that I released to all media outlets will take care of all the rest of your questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
And kind of the final twist is that Terry had previously found all of Jason Wynn's dirt, put it on a little tiny CD of information.
The tiniest.
And
This is when Blu-rays were a big deal.
tiniest.
They were trying to really push that Blu-ray.
They're trying to show you that the CIA has like this technology that the rest of us poor people have never seen with our own eyes back in 97. So it's this teeny tiny disc. Anyway, he sends it to all the news stations. And so by the time Jason's arrested, the news has spread and there's all these reporters and people with microphones waiting outside the house because they know.
It clearly was setting up for a sequel because we're all sitting at home like Jason needs to be dead. Jessica left in a cryogenic chamber. Little goo Violator slinked off. Like there's so many open-ended like plot holes that it's just dying to have a sequel, which I would definitely watch. I would watch it.
And I'm curious, does the Spawn find love as the melted guy, or is he just forever
Is it like a Hulk and
bound to
Hulkette
loneliness?
situation, She-Hulk situation? I know. It's like, well, it kind of implies that he's just a lone vigilante now. He's doing it for nobody, just to be better, just to make the world a better place.
Spawn has stopped Malbolgia's plans to destroy the Earth. The choice has been made.
And in the end, he's like, I don't fit into Wanda's life anymore. She's happy without me. Like he sacrifices wanting to
Spawn,
be with her or
get
around
over
her.
Wanda, dude. What was Wanda's
I
deal?
also-
She was in this movie. She didn't impress me very much, okay? She literally
also
saw him
thought to-
burned and was like, yo, I'm getting out of here. Like, she didn't do anything noble or great or...
They try to imply she's very smart and she gives a speech at one point, but I also feel like, what power does she have that he literally signed on the dotted line with the devil for her? I
It
don't
doesn't make-
understand
that's why I
what was so
said-
great about her.
It's like, think beyond, like, this temporary moment and just be like, you know what? This does not seem like a good idea. I think if you really sat and talked about it with yourself, you'd be like, this doesn't seem like a totally good idea. Especially since Wanda got pregnant 15 minutes after I died.
That would have actually been the first moment when he sees that they have a 5-year-old kid. You would think the movie would end. He's like, you know what? My bad.
Right? Why
A,
didn't he go to
know
the
5
devil?
years passed. B, clearly was not in the picture. I think I'm gonna bow out.
You think that he would have just gone straight back to the devil and been like, you know what? Can't do this. I actually take it back. But at that point, the devil's already outsmarted him. Now he's got to outsmart the devil. It's a big old thing.
But he wins. He wins.
Your old life is gone. Accept that.
I still love Wanda.
Put her in the past. It's the only way you can be free.
She's the only reason I'm here.
Who is the most underrated character that you wanted to see get more screen time?
I think this is probably an obvious for both of us, but I can't speak for you. But Jessica fucking Priest.
I would have watched a whole movie about Jessica Priest.
We already talked about her so much that I'm not going to say much. I want to see a spinoff on the Jessica Priest story.
I do too. Good
How
choice.
About you? Is that your same person?
No. I for sure wanted to see more of Sword Arm McGee. I really wanted.
You know how he got that little sword?
I want to know how that happened. I want to know who he's battling with his sword arm. I want to know if he's at all jealous that people are getting more and more advanced powers as time moves on.
I don't know if you caught this at the very end of the movie, Cadence, but when he's down in hell, he has little chainmail on, like old, medieval chainmail.
Yes.
So I think it goes to show that's why he got his little dagger arm. He was a medieval spawn.
Oh, poor guy. And he said he was battling hell for like 500 years, and that was his only weapon. And who's he battling? Is he doing it one by one?
And you know what? He did not battle it well when he went down there. He got killed right away. Poor guy. You're right. I do want to know a little bit more about that guy.
Just context would be great. That's all. All right. Moving on to number 2.
Cadence. What was the most unbelievable thing in this movie? What were you yelling at the movie being like, no way is this happening?
I genuinely wanted to know if, what Wanda was doing or is doing that made her enough that he signed a contract with the devil. She's got to be magic or something.
Her vagina has got to be golden. The tightest golden vagina in the world.
Remember when we did the Baywatch Glacier Bay movie and Donna was complaining about how no one ever asked her out and how she's so ugly, and then we started joking about how tight her vagina. My vagina's too tight.
We called her
too
tight tuss. Too tight tuss. Because she's the most beautiful, voluptuous woman, and she's like, I'm so ugly, and guys hate me.
I never get it. So I think Wanda has a too tight tuss. She's a triple T.
Oh, yeah.
There's something about her. I do not get it.
If you sell yourself to the devil to come back and see it, yeah. And he didn't even say how you could have sex with her. He just said see her. So who even knows?
That's so true. He's like, I just want to look at her and think about it real hard. Okay. Number 3.
Well, you're not going to ask me.
Oh, sorry. I was so wound up about Wanda's magic vagina. I was also just thinking about it.
I'm still thinking about it. So the most unbelievable part that I was yelling at the TV had to be that no parent in this neighborhood on Sunday at 11 a.m. was batting an eye that a demon was a clown at a 5-year-old birthday party. Nobody batted an eye.
While drinking whiskey and smoking a cigarette.
Not only that, he's terrifying. He is actually a demon. His teeth are razor sharp, crazy thing. The it status.
Mm-hmm. He's not at all. It's yes, he's wearing a clown outfit, but his whole demeanor and face and teeth and mouth are not transformed into a friendly clown. They're still demon clown. And not to mention his 2,000 teeth in his mouth.
You would think that the parents would be like, how are you blowing up those balloon animals, bud, with your sharp razor teeth? So,
it's your turn.
Cadence, what was an obvious or not so obvious plot hole that changes the whole movie? Plot hole is, you guys get it. You get it what a plot hole
it's
is.
It's an all-encompassing term.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean that the whole movie would have been drastically changed. But there are definitely things that would have changed the outcome of this movie pretty easy had one other decision been made.
I wanted to know how and why the relationship between Jason Wynn and the Violator started. Because when we see them, they're already great friends. They already go way back. They're already formulating a plan. And I just didn't quite understand how that whole ball got rolling.
And why Satan wouldn't have just picked Jason Wynn to lead his army.
Exactly.
Since he was
like
already
you said.
an awful man who was willing to kill the world. Okay,
Just
I
be
think
like,
that
you know
makes
what?
him a
You
good
seem like
candidate.
the guy for the job.
Exactly. That's number one for sure. But that's not mine.
What's yours?
My biggest plot hole is we didn't discuss this in the podcast, you guys, but there was a point when a group of Satanists are like at a graveyard or something, and they are actively worshiping Satan, asking to be the leaders of his hell army. Not like big leaders, just they're literally stabbing a goat head. And I'm thinking to myself, why not just pick them?
Yeah, they're willing participants.
You don't have to get Violator to be all sneaky and make this big old, what is it, a coup to get freaking Al Simmons as Spawn. Just take those guys. They're willing and wanting.
Listen, they're not CIA agents, but they're enthusiastic. They will be willing to learn. They want to run the company.
Yes.
Just let them in.
They can do it. So I'm like, come on, guys. Why did you add that scene? It doesn't make any sense because there are so many people lined up for this job.
I absolutely agree with you. And yes, we did leave that out when we were telling the story, but it was phenomenal. What made it into the movie that you cannot believe made it through all the way through post-production and ended up actually on screen?
I'm going to have to say the tarantula on Jessica Bree's face.
That was also on my list of things that I was trying to choose from.
As you're watching this and thinking like we have to edit this down, who was like, yes, this makes sense for a woman to be doing in an office? Like,
yeah, because where did it come from?
Yeah,
does she have her office next door? Because she's in Jason Wynn's office with her tarantula. So did she bring it from somewhere else?
Because someone had to have been like, that looks really badass. She looks badass. Yeah. But you guys, she's a grown woman in an office building. Granted, the guy's evil. No one else in the office building knows that. So she's just a woman with a tarantula on her face.
Also, I did not think about this until just now. But we've already said, why didn't the devil just choose Jason Wynn? I always justified it with, well, he's like not a soldier, so maybe he doesn't know the logistics side of things. But Jessica clearly does, so why not pick her? Right? She's Jason Wynn's right-hand woman. She is on the same level.
She literally assassinated Al Simmons, so she's clearly better than him.
Exactly.
Because she's a woman. Because she's a woman.
That's what it's like to be a woman in the workforce.
I know, that's what it's
She
like.
made 70 cents on the dollar for that job. All she got was a lousy tarantula.
You're totally
and all she
right.
got to do was be a bodyguard when she could have been the leader of Satan's army.
So stupid. You're absolutely right.
So dumb. I genuinely was perplexed by, beyond just being perplexed by Satan being like that giant cartoon dog. The other thing
Clifford.
was that, right.
Clifford, the big red dog.
It was. I didn't understand that. Why he was a dog and his army was all in human form. Not quite clear on that. But every time they showed the demon dog Satan on screen, so he's like 50 feet tall. His mouth is wide open. His tongue is hanging out. But when he talks, nothing moves. His mouth just stays open.
It was too
and
expensive to have
words
those
are
lips
formed.
Because we joked at the very beginning, they used all their budget on the cool Spawn costume, and then they just, the CGI budget was like, yeah, just make him not talk.
He's saying he can be it telepathically. It's not a big
but
deal.
it is. He's just like slobbering all over and his mouth never moves. You'd think they would have made like some attempt to kind of move it, or even his
Right.
tongue. Nope.
And he has an underbite. So his bottom jaw sticks out far past his top jaw. And I'm like, I don't, what's the logic? Can he not shut his mouth? Is it impossible for him to shut his mouth? I don't get it.
Know. In one sentence, what would you describe Jesus.
How?
In one sentence, how would you describe Spawn to someone who's never seen it?
A melted man turns down a high-powered job as CEO of hell.
It's very good. I chose severely burned man tricks eternally omnipotent demons to stalk his ex.
What you wouldn't do for Wanda's too tight twist, am I right?
What we wouldn't do. Can't live with her, can't live without her, am I right?
Wanda!
Wanda!
All right. Bye.
Bye.